Hey everyone, it's Sarah. And I want to share with you a story about one of those days where everything seemed to go wrong, but ended up being full of surprises. It started like any other day. I woke up early, excited about the day ahead. I had a long to-do list, but I was determined to make the most of it. But then my car broke down on the way to work. I was stranded on the side of the road, feeling frustrated and helpless. After a few calls, I managed to arrange for a tow truck. While waiting, I decided to walk to a nearby cafe to grab a coffee. And then it started to rain. I didn't have an umbrella, so I got completely soaked. It felt like everything was going against me. But you know what? Instead of letting it ruin my day, I embraced the unexpected turn of events. I ordered my favorite coffee and sat by the window watching the rain. As I sat there sipping my coffee, I realized that sometimes life's challenges can lead to unexpected moments of joy and reflection. I eventually made it to work, borrowed a colleague's computer, and managed to catch up on my work. Despite the setbacks, I didn't let them get me down. When I got home, I was exhausted but grateful. I had turned what could have been a terrible day into an unexpected adventure. So the next time you're faced with a bad day, remember to embrace the challenges and look for the silver lining. You never know what surprises await. Let's learn some useful words and expressions. Let's start. To-do list. A list of tasks that need to be completed, often written down to help with organization. Example: I had a long to-do list for the day. Make the most of it, to use or enjoy something as much as possible. Example: I was determined to make the most of the day. Stranded, left in a difficult or helpless situation, often unable to move or escape. Example: I was stranded on the side of the road. Tow truck. A vehicle used for towing cars that are broken down or parked illegally. Example: I arranged for a tow truck to help me. Turn of events. A change or development in a situation. Example: I embraced the unexpected turn of events. Reflect, think deeply or carefully about something. Example: I sat by the window watching the rain and reflected on the day. Catch up on, to do something that should have been done earlier. Example: I managed to catch up on my work. Setbacks. Difficulties or obstacles that delay or prevent progress. Example: Despite the setbacks, I didn't let them get me down. Get me down, to make someone feel sad or discouraged. Example: I didn't let the setbacks get me down. Silver lining. A sign of hope or a positive aspect in a difficult or unpleasant situation. Example: Look for the silver lining in every situation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, keep shining bright with Storylight. Welcome to Storylight. Today's story is about the hot day. In this video, you will also learn some interesting vocabulary and expressions from the story that will improve your English skills. So let's get started. Listen carefully.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I work remotely from home. Today was one of those scorching hot days where the sun felt like it was right outside my window, determined to make me melt. But I was determined too, determined to stay cool and get my work done. I started my day by setting up my workspace just right. I positioned a fan to blow a gentle breeze my way and closed the blinds to keep out the harsh sunlight. I dressed in light, breathable clothing, ready to tackle the day ahead. As the day went on, I made sure to keep myself hydrated, constantly sipping on a tall glass of ice water. I also snacked on fresh fruit and yogurt, keeping my energy levels up. Despite the heat, I managed my time effectively, focusing on the more demanding tasks in the cooler morning hours. When I needed a break, I stepped outside onto my shaded porch. The fresh air and change of scenery helped me recharge and come back to my work with a renewed focus. During my lunch break, I decided to make a refreshing salad with crisp lettuce, juicy tomatoes, and cucumbers. It was the perfect meal to cool me down and keep me going for the rest of the day. In the afternoon, I took a longer break and went for a walk around my neighborhood. Despite the heat, the walk was invigorating, and I returned to my work feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the rest of the day. One thing I love about working from home is the flexibility it allows. In the late afternoon, when the sun was less intense, I moved my workspace outside onto my patio. It was a nice change of scenery and helped me finish up my work for the day on a positive note. As the day came to a close, I felt a sense of accomplishment. Despite the challenges of the hot day, I had stayed cool and productive. It's days like these that remind me of the benefits of remote work, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to work from home.
Let's learn some interesting words and expressions. Understanding these words will help you to enhance your English skills. Let's start. Scorching hot. Describing extremely hot weather. Example: the scorching hot sun made it unbearable to be outside. Melting, to become liquefied by heat. Example: the ice cream was melting in the sun. Blinds. Window coverings made of slats that can be opened or closed. Example: she closed the blinds to keep the sun out. Keep out the harsh sunlight, preventing sunlight from entering. Example: the curtains were drawn to keep out the harsh sunlight. Breathable, allowing air to pass through easily. Example: the fabric of the shirt was breathable, perfect for hot weather. Sipping, drinking slowly in small mouthfuls. Example: she sat on the porch sipping her coffee and enjoying the morning. Energy levels up, maintaining high energy levels. Example: the snack helped keep my energy levels up. Keep me going for the rest of the day, to sustain energy levels. Example: the snack kept me going for the rest of the day. Invigorating, making one feel strong, healthy, and full of energy. Example: the cool breeze was invigorating after the hot day. Patio, an outdoor area adjoining a house, typically used for dining or recreation. Example: they sat on the patio enjoying the warm evening. Remote work, work that is done from home or another location outside of the office. Example: many companies offer remote work options for their employees. Positive note, to complete work in a positive manner. Example: she finished up her work for the day on a positive note, feeling accomplished. Share your some hot day story with me. Until then, keep shining bright with Story Light. Welcome to Story Light. Today's story is about the night of fear. In this video, you will also learn some interesting vocabulary and expressions from the story that will improve your English skills. So let's get started. Listen carefully.
It was a night cloaked in darkness, with the moon obscured by thick, swirling clouds. My friends and I had always been drawn to the mysterious, and the old, dilapidated house at the end of the street beckoned to us like a siren's call. They said it was haunted, that the spirits of the past wandered its halls, whispering secrets and curses into the night. Despite our skepticism about such tales, we decided to investigate, armed with nothing but our curiosity and a few feeble flashlights. As we approached the house, the wind seemed to howl with an otherworldly fury, as if warning us to turn back. The once grand structure loomed before us, its windows shattered, its facade crumbling. The front door creaked open on rusty hinges, as if inviting us into its dark, foreboding interior. We hesitated for a moment, a sense of unease creeping over us. But the thrill of the unknown pushed us forward, and we stepped across the threshold into the House of Whispers. The air inside was thick with dust, and the floorboards groaned beneath our feet as we ventured further into the darkness. Strange noises echoed through the house, the sound of footsteps that were not our own, and the faint, chilling whispers of unseen voices. Shadows danced on the walls, taking on sinister shapes that seemed to watch our every move. A cold breeze whispered through the halls, carrying with it a sense of dread that made our skin prickle with fear. As we explored the house, we came upon a staircase that led up to the second floor. The stairs groaned and protested with each step we took, as if the house itself was trying to warn us away. But we pressed on, driven by a morbid curiosity to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within. At the top of the stairs, we found ourselves in a hallway that stretched into darkness. The air was thick with the smell of decay, and the walls seemed to close in around us. And then, we saw it, a figure standing at the end of the hallway, bathed in an eerie, ethereal light. It was unlike anything we had ever seen, a shadowy form that seemed to flicker and fade like a ghost. It beckoned to us, its movements slow and deliberate, and without thinking, we followed. The hallway seemed to stretch on forever, twisting and turning in on itself, leading us deeper into the heart of the house. Suddenly, the figure vanished, leaving us standing in a room that was filled with an icy chill. The walls were lined with old photographs, their faces staring out at us with hollow eyes. And then, we heard it, a low, guttural growl that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Panic set in, and we turned and ran, stumbling over each other in our haste to escape. We raced down the stairs, through the darkened halls, and out into the night, the sounds of our own ragged breathing the only thing that filled the air. As we collapsed on the grass outside, gasping for breath, we knew that we had experienced something beyond our understanding. Whether it was the spirits of the past or simply our own minds playing tricks on us, we would never know. But one thing was certain, we would never forget the night we entered the House of Whispers, and the fear that still lingers in our hearts to this.
Let's learn some interesting words and expressions. Understanding these words will help you to enhance your English skills. Let's start. Cloaked, covered or concealed. Example: the spy was cloaked in darkness as he made his way through the enemy's territory. Obscured, hidden or blocked from view. Example: the thick fog obscured the path, making it difficult to see. Dilapidated, in a state of disrepair or ruin. Example: the old dilapidated barn had collapsed under the weight of years of neglect. Beckoned, to gesture or signal for someone to come closer. Example: the lighthouse beckoned to the ships lost at sea, guiding them safely to shore. Skepticism, doubt or disbelief. Example: despite his skepticism, he decided to investigate the strange noise in the basement. Rusty hinges. Hinges on doors that are covered in rust, which is a reddish-brown coating that forms on metal when it gets wet. Example: the gate opened with a creaky sound because its hinges were rusty. Loomed. Looked big and kind of scary. Example: the dark clouds loomed over the city, making it look like it might rain soon. Foreboding. A sense of impending evil or misfortune. Example: the dark clouds and howling wind gave the town a sense of foreboding. Flicker. To shine with a wavering light. Example: the candle flickered in the draught, casting eerie shadows on the wall. Lingers. To remain or stay in a place longer than is usual or expected. Example: the smell of smoke lingered in the air long after the fire had been extinguished. A sense of dread. This phrase describes a feeling of intense fear or apprehension. Example: as the storm clouds gathered, a sense of dread settled over the village. Morbid. Gruesome or disturbing. Example: she had a morbid fascination with crime scenes and forensic science. Share your any horror story with me. Until then, keep shining bright with Story Light.